Hi everybody and welcome back to the vlog. Today is Sunday. I actually did not double today, so I was actually able to do stuff. Just so happened to be that way. My mom and I went to go see Something Rotten. It was the last show of my local theater production of the show, and is one of my favorite musicals of all time. This week is unique because we are starting in the Renaissance, and we're going to end at the Renaissance, because today I saw Something Rotten, which is set in the 1580s, and then on Saturday we are going to one of the largest Renaissance fairs in our area in the Midwest. So we're going to be going to that, which is extremely exciting. I can't wait. We used to go to Ren fairs every year when we lived back in the South, and we just have not been able to go just because of circumstances, and I'm so glad to be able to go again. Yes, so this is Renaissance week, which is exciting. But anyway, books. So I spent a long time yesterday listening to the audiobook of My Enemy, My Heart by Lori Ann Eakes, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So really, just to catch you all up on where we are, the story is about our girl named Deirdre. She is the daughter of a sea captain, and her father dies right as the ship is being commandeered by British privateers. And it is right at the beginning of the War of 1812 between the newly democratic country of the United States and Great Britain. So England is still salty and mad that we broke away and became independent, so they started some beef with us. I actually don't really know what the War of 1812 is about, so I should probably revisit that. So the ship is commandeered by these British privateers, and now because the crew had a woman on it, now they have to do something with her. She was a non-combatant prisoner, but the person who happened to be in charge of the privateering ship has a bit of a bad reputation when it comes to women. So he decided that the best thing to do was to propose marriage to Deirdre, so that when they returned to land and he was giving her to somebody as a non-combatant, the best place that she could go was to his family as his wife, and it would also repair his honor or whatever. So he was on this journey to repair his honor by working for the British crown, but then he ended up meeting this American girl and was like, well, if I bring her back, it's just gonna be scandalous. So I'm more than halfway through it. I've been listening to it on 1.8x speed on Audible. It was a free audio companion to the book from Kindle Unlimited. I love when they do that. That's most of the reason why I have my Audible subscription, is just so I can listen to the free narrations. But I will eventually use my credits. And I'm also starting to get together the books that I'm going to be reading for October. I know what I'm going to be reading for October, but none of them are on Kindle Unlimited except for one out of the 6 or 7 that I'm planning to read. So I need to find out where to get them, and quickly, preferably in ebook format. So I'm going to the DMV tomorrow after I drop off Pinecone at the vet to get my license changed finally, get my voter registration changed, and then I'm going to the library to finally get my library card so that I can get my Libby account, and then I can get these books for free, because I am what? A broke bitch. And in this house we live by the broke bitch manifesto, in which we try to get everything for free that we could possibly can, because it's hard out here. So I am doing my best. I also applied for 4 jobs in my library system, so hoping I hear back, because a second job or a new job, if it pays better than the first, maybe in my future, because my current job is not giving me shit for hours and I need money. So that's where I am right now. I will go ahead and update you guys later. Okay, 61st attempt at Invincible. Depression. Hi everybody, happy Monday. As you can see, I had a lot of errands to run this morning. I had to take Pinecone to the vet, and I had a stakeout at Five Below to see if they had any of the Halloween Squishmallows, and they didn't, so I am sad, but I had to go spend an hour in the DMV and get my new driver's license because I have lived here for a year and I never got my license changed, and now there's a midterm election coming up, so I got my license changed mostly for voting purposes. But then I was able to go to the library because I am notoriously bad with returning books on time. So I have not gone to go to the library in the last year because I tried that last year. My mom got a library card for me to use, and I held on to one of their 2 copies of A Discovery of Witches for an ungodly amount of time, and I am so very sorry. But I decided to go ahead and go again, and I also, put in all my info on Libby and tried to see if I can get any of my October and anticipated release reads that I've been wanting to get on the app. And I've managed to find some gems. So I got 3 books from the library, 3 physical books. I told myself I would only get 2 because, but anyway, I managed to snag the Sunbearer Trials. Apologies for the inverted camera. I'm insecure. It was in the news section. I just turned the corner in YA and it was right there. So I just went ahead and I picked it up. And then I have seen this book in Walmart and it draws me in every time, and I've been wanting to buy it even though I've never read this author, even though I have books of hers. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing a shop my shelves where I am reading books that I own but I've never read, because I tried to do this thing where every Black Friday I would buy used books on Amazon, like paperback copies for $5 or less, and I would read them throughout the year, and then if I didn't like them I would just send them back. So it was just a way for me to reuse and used books and give them a second life. Well, I never got around to reading literally any of them, but every time I see this book in Walmart I want to buy it. But I picked it up at the library. It is Blade Breaker by Victoria Aveyard, so I am super fucking excited. And then the last book, it's everybody's favorite, of course. When I looked it up on Libby, they said that I would have to wait dead-ass 22 weeks. It said 22 weeks to be on hold for this book, and I was like, no goddamn way. But then I was like, okay, I'll think about it and I'll put it on hold and maybe I can get it. But then literally 2 shelves down, they had a copy of the Inheritance games. So I picked it up because I said, if I don't get it now, some other broke bitch is going to pick it up. And then I'm not going to be able to read this for a half a year. So I went ahead and I got it. Even though I told myself I would only get, a certain number of books, I went ahead and snagged these. I also went a little more hog wild on Libby than anticipated. I don't know why, but I haven't figured out how to add things to your wish list. But you can add tags, but I couldn't figure out how to add physical books to your wish list. So I would see books that were hot and ready to be borrowed now, and I was like, well, I don't want to lose them or forget about them, so I just went ahead and I borrowed them. But the first one is a book that was actually on my list to borrow, and it's The Family Plot by Megan Collins. I saw Chandler read this, so I was really interested in the premise. I don't remember if I think she said it was a 3-star read for her. It was interesting, but in the end, it didn't, the payoff wasn't there for her. But the premise was interesting enough for me that I wanted to give it a shot. The next book is A Botanist's Guide to Parties and Poisons by Kate Kavari. The title and the cover is really what drew me in about this. And then I saw that it was a feminist fantasy, and I was like, period. No, I'm getting it. Next book that I borrowed is a book that's being adapted into a Apple Plus series right now. I know fuck all about Apple Plus and what they offer, so I was kind of shocked, and the premise seemed really interesting. Tom Hiddleston is in it, so of course I had to, do it for the girls, but it's The Essex Serpent, so I'm really excited about that. I'm so sorry the landscapers are here. I'm really sorry about the landscapers. They'll be gone soon, but I just wanted to get this done while I thought about it. The last book I borrowed on Libby was The Secret Book and Scone Society by Ellery Adams. This one just seemed really interesting. I as you can see, there's a bit of a theme. There's a bit of a like a mystery thriller vibe going on. And then of the books that I wanted to read for October, I have them all written down in my notebook. I have all of them. Yeah, so I have the Family Plot. I have the Inheritance Games. I wanted to read Verity by Colleen Hoover. I have it on Audible. I am not. The premise seems interesting and like it's a mystery. However, I don't. I've never read a Colleen Hoover book. However, I've seen a lot of people discuss like how relationships are handled in her books and how a lot of her relationships are abusive and romanticized. And as somebody who went through an abusive relationship when I was really young, I don't necessarily like that. But I figured I would give one of her books a shot and see how I feel about it. At least Verity. Like, I'm not going to go into any more of like the contemporary romances just because they're not that interesting to me, and I don't really want to read about abusive boyfriends. And then I have A Discovery of Witches. I put it on hold, so fingers crossed that I can get that ASAP. And then this one I haven't gotten. I'll probably have to buy it or use an Audible credit. I'll probably use an Audible credit for it, but it's The Lake House by Kate Morton. This was another book that Chandler read that I was interested in reading when she talked about it. So hopefully it is good for me. I don't even remember what she thought about it. I think she also considered it a 3-star read. If she had remembered it being like higher than a 3-star, I would have remembered. But I think she considered both of the recommendations that are on my TBR for this fall season. I think she rated those like kind of middle of the road for her. But I'm excited nonetheless. I have a lot to get started with. So I have 7 books to read in the next 3 weeks, and I'm more than halfway through My Enemy, My Heart. I haven't really read that much today. I was a little too embarrassed to be reading a romance like on my Kindle app in the DMV, or else I would have gotten another hour of reading done, but whatever. I'll make up for it. I have it on audiobook, so I'll probably like clean up around here now. I need to severely clean the basement in which I dwell, by the way. If you're new here, I live in the basement. I severely need to clean down here, especially I need to clean the floor and vacuum and mop and do my laundry. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and then go from there. So, and having books on audio makes it easier for me too, because I'm able to multitask and that's what I do best. So I'm going to go ahead and go clean, and then we're going to finish My Enemy, My Heart today and probably start The Family Plot. So that's what I wrote down on my to-do list. So that's what we're going to do today. So I will check in with you guys when I have more to say. I am officially at the level of tired that I am falling asleep at my desk, but I've been doing laundry all evening and my sheets are still not done, so I can't go to bed yet because I don't have other pillowcases. So I have to stay awake until my laundry's done. However, I am about 46% of the way through My Enemy, My Heart. I read from or listened from chapter 15 to chapter 21 this evening while I've been gaming on like 1.8 to 2.0 x speed. Basically, I would start at 1.8, and then when I was able to understand that perfectly, I would go up 1. And then when I was good with that, I would go up 1. So that's how I got to 2.0x. It also depends on how fast the narrator is reading to begin with. But 1.8 wasn't fast enough at a certain point for me. So I went to 1.9 and then 2.0. So I only have like an hour and a half left, maybe an hour and 20 minutes left. But I physically cannot stay awake and focus on it. And I'm at the point now where I'm not enjoying it. Like the first half of the book, I was enjoying it, and the second half of the book, I am not enjoying it, because all Deirdre wants to do is like escape, and all she does is like say, "Oh man, like Kieran's family is finally coming around to me. It's too bad I have to betray them. And it's just like, it's every single chapter. Every single chapter. It's just like, oh man, I'm American. I have to get back to my American buddies. And too bad I'm going to betray my British husband's family. And it's every single fucking chapter. Literally every chapter. And if she ever escapes or runs away, it's literally for like a couple of paragraphs. And then they find her again. Oh, and she's pregnant. So it's just, it doesn't mean anything. And I'm tired. And they haven't even like said that they love each other. And this is one of the more clean romance novels where it's like mentioned that they have sex, but they don't like talk about it. It's just like they participate in sins of the flesh or pleasures of the flesh. And now she's pregnant. It's like, okay, we get it. They had sex, but like they don't, it's not like A Dark Knight's Captive Bride, where it was literally a sex scene like every chapter, which I wasn't complaining. I rated that book 4 stars for a reason. But this book is gearing up to be probably my least favorite of the month. So hoping I can finish it and get started on, what's the next one I want? Oh, The Family Plot. I wanted to get started on The Family Plot next because it was another audiobook, and then I wanted to probably get started on one of the physical books that I got, maybe the Sunbearer Trials next. I haven't fully decided yet. So, but I'm going to try to finish 2 more books this month. I'm going to try to finish My Enemy, My Heart, and then try to finish one more book after that before the start of October so that we can talk about it with the wrap up. So I am planning to do everything with, the rest of the September books. I'm planning to film the wrap up tomorrow, but maybe like filming and doing the wrap up like the first week of the next month is probably the best idea, but I don't know. So that's where I'm at right now, but I'm going to go lay down and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Hello everybody and happy Tuesday. I typically don't work on Tuesdays, but I picked up a shift for tonight and tomorrow night, so that kind of derails some of the things that I had planned to do with making content, but my hours have been kind of cut recently, so I have to prioritize that. But I only have about an hour and 10-ish minutes left in My Enemy, My Heart, so I'm going to try to finish that. And I realized I swear every time I say her name I say it wrong, but it's Lori Alice Eakes. I said Lori Ann Eakes. I've said Lori Alice Leaks. I am so sorry. I usually don't even catch it until it's like post-production, and then I just edit it in that I accidentally messed up the name. But I am so sorry, Lori. I keep messing up your name, but I'm going to try to go ahead and finish this while I do my makeup. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I have to be at work at 4. So I'm going to do my makeup, do a short stream on Twitch because I have not been streaming because I've been prioritizing YouTube content. So I need to find a better balance between the two. And then we'll go from there. Probably tonight I will start, because I do want to stay on schedule. So like I'm trying to not just like make content, but I'm trying to make a schedule, and I'm trying to like do everything I plan to do. So what I'm going to do is finish this and then stream on Twitch and then go to work. And then I will update you guys later about how I feel about the ending to this book. The first half of this book I was enjoying, and I'm not enjoying the second half as much, but we'll see how I feel about the rest of it. So like I said, it says an hour and 19 minutes on 2.0x speed, but the credits are going to be part of it. So it's probably more like an hour and 15 or an hour and 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will talk to you guys later. Okay, so I ended up not streaming, but that's fine. I had to do something with my hair because it looked like shit. I did, however, finish My Enemy, My Heart by Lori Alice Eakes. There. I could say it correctly. Lori, I'm still so sorry I keep saying your name wrong. And when I was about 2 chapters away from the end, I went ahead and looked on Goodreads to see what was the average review of this book, because I was wondering if it was just me. The average review of this book was a 4 or 5 star read, and I was finding myself going, Why? Maybe it was just my audio experience and that I wasn't reading it, or maybe because I was listening to it so fast. I don't know, but I feel like I have a pretty good sense as to what happened. I remember it quite fresh. However, I feel like nothing really happened. I feel like I was interested in the beginning. Like, we had the marriage of convenience and the, for the sake of honor. That part was interesting. Like I said, the first half of the book was really interesting. And then the second half of the book, all Deirdre did was talk about that it was going to be such a shame that she was going to betray her husband's entire family to set free her crew that actually loved her. And she kept sneaking out to bring them stuff, but I feel like it was glossed over so quickly that I never registered in my brain that stuff happened, because to me it just felt like she was just laying around growing babies and talking about how she was going to betray her husband while nothing actually happened. So maybe it was just me, it was my experience, but I felt like nothing was coming to fruition with all of her thoughts. And then magically, like, stuff started happening and she was going into labor when they were actually enacting the plan. And then it was like behind the scenes, she was manipulating things so that Kieran and his family would be mostly out of town when like everything happened. I did read a review that really encompassed how I felt about it. Maybe I'll put it like right here, but it was basically talking about how the politics in the book didn't, all it really did was show that Deirdre was interested in setting her American friends free so they could flee to France, who was assisting America. So they would assist in killing British people. So it really, it wasn't about the war. It was about, she just wanted the people that she loved to not be in prison. Like, she didn't really care about the ramifications of the political environment, that they would flee to France and then go to war with France as, being in France against the British. So then they would still be in danger. So I don't really understand like her point here. It's like, yeah, they're going to escape and go to France. It's like, what do you think France was doing in the time during the War of 1812? They were helping the Americans. So she seems to be quite singularly minded in helping those that matter to her without thinking of the consequences of what's going to happen to other people. And there is not much given to the morality of what the Americans are doing. Deirdre thinks that the Americans are entirely innocent. There was a kind of lack in discussion of morality, of if you're going for like a heavy political undertone, a sense of morality it needs to be included. I think that A Dark Knight's Captive Bride did this much better when it came to, if you're going to have a political undertone, you need to do it in a way that you're showing both sides of the story, and that wasn't happening here. It felt very empty. It just felt like Deirdre was just interested in saving people, which is fair, which is fine. That's fine. But if you're going to position this book as having a political undertone of the Americans versus the British, you need to establish that there was not, entirely innocent people on either side. I also grew incredibly annoyed at the fact that all of a sudden Kieran's mother and father were like, Deirdre's growing. Her pregnancy, like, she looks further along than she actually is based on when you guys got married. So maybe she's not a virgin actually. Like, we already had this discussion. We already had this. We already talked about this. But they're talking about it again because she was showing more than she should. And it's like, I saw this coming from a mile away. Like, maybe there's more than one fucking baby in there. Like, were they unable to think that potentially she could have been having twins, and that was why that she was carrying large, because there was more than one goddamn baby? So I was like, well, no shit, she's having twins. So when it was like a massive twist at the end that, oh no, she, their judgment was misguided, she was just, she just had two babies in there instead of one. It's like, why would you even believe that? Like, if I was Kieran as her husband, I would have looked at them and said, we've already had this discussion, and also it may be rare, but have you ever considered that maybe there's more than one? I would honestly be interested in looking into the history of twins, into how they detected whether or not someone was pregnant with twins, if there was a way to find out if someone was pregnant with twins. Like, I don't know shit about Regency era medicine. Like, was there a way for you, like, maybe I'm sure, like, midwives, like, palpating the abdomen, like, was there a way to be like, hey, that's a head, and ooh, that's also a head? Like, was this not available? Was this not available to anybody, that you could have figured this out sooner? And it just turned into this, like, third act conflict, interpersonal conflict that was not necessary. Like, it just totally tanked the book for me. Like, it started out so good. I had such high expectations. And then it just went kind of downhill after the first half. And that was and I listened to the entire thing. I maybe read a little bit of it, like if I was away from home and I had the chance to, like, read a little bit. But that's about it. So I don't understand, like, where this was all coming from. And now, like, the book says 2 stars to me. This says, like, a 2-star read. I'm going to sit on it. I have to go into work tonight, but, like, I'm going to sit on it while I'm at work and really think about it, because this feels like a 2-star read to me. But I don't want to be too mean to it, and I also enjoyed the first half of the book, and I was rooting for it. Like, I rated A Touch of Power 2 stars, but mostly because I was rooting for her, and, like, the premise was so interesting. And, like, if you want to hear me bitch and complain about that, you could go look at the August wrap-up video. But, like, I don't want to give this book the same 2 stars because it was just bad. Like, Touch of Power was different. Maybe it's because, like, you fantasy versus historical romance. But for historical romance, this was a 2. This was a 2-star. And the Goodreads review that I read that really helped me be able to put into words exactly how I was feeling. Like, I'm not saying that it biased me in any way. I was mostly through the book when I read it, if not, like, 1 chapter away from completion, but it really put into perspective, like, how I actually felt about it, and that review gave it 2 stars. So I think that's a good way to, like, call it square with this book. My Enemy, My Heart. I'm sorry, Lori. I'm sorry I kept fucking up your name, and now I'm gonna give your book 2 stars, but I'm gonna have to do it. So, sorry, sis. Maybe I'll pick up another one of your books. So, the idea for a 24-hour reading vlog for A Court of Mist and Fury, it's not going too well, because I'm only on, what chapter am I on? I could only read a little bit because I had, like, a million doctor's appointments and then I had to go to work. I'm on chapter 5, so I'm 7% in, and there's really not much to say at the moment other than Feyre's just going through a hard time right now, and honestly, I don't blame her. So that's where I'm at with A Court of Mist and Fury. I really have nothing else to say other than I wish that I had gotten more done, but it's not necessarily my fault because I had doctor's appointments and then I had to go to work. So, and then I work tomorrow morning. I'll probably get a lot of reading done tomorrow morning as long as we're not busy. I usually read a lot at work on Thursdays, so because we're so slow. So I'm probably going to get a lot of reading done tomorrow. And then I need to film the wrap up, or I haven't decided if I'm going to film the September wrap up and talk about, wrap up how I feel about the books I read in September, or I'm going to do another video idea that's, like, kind of short and sweet. It would be just, like, not filler, but, like, something I've wanted to discuss that's not going to be too terribly long to give me a bit of a buffer between the wrap up and like that and the wrap up. But yeah, not much to say for Wednesday other than I'm on chapter 5 of A Court of Mist and Fury and I'm doing my best. So I completely forgot to take any footage from the Ren Fair, and also I didn't dress up because my costume didn't have laces to do the corset. Also, I took my makeup off because my skin was screaming. So this fair was in Kansas City, and it was in the middle of, like, a forest area full of dirt and sand, and they had covered a lot of the paths in gravel, but with all the people and the feet walking around, there was a lot of dust in the air, so my skin was screaming. So I took all my makeup off, and I need to wash my hair, but I wanted to show you guys what I got. I got 300 incense sticks from one place. Granted, they're my favorite incense seller. I didn't even know they were going to be there. So when I saw their stall, I like freaked the fuck out. So for those who don't know, I'm originally from the South. I'm from Florida, and I moved to the Midwest a year ago. And we used to go to a Renaissance fair in Gainesville, Florida, every single year, and there was a incense seller there that sold incense oils and like wood burning signs. They were like my favorite people ever, and I used to see them at the fair in Gainesville, and then they also were at the fair in Tampa. So they traveled around a lot. They were one of the rare like vendors that did Ren fairs year round. So I did not know that they went this far west. So when I saw them, I did not expect to see them, but I buy from them year round. I have an account with them. I have a rewards system with them, but I didn't expect them to be there. So I went a little hog wild. So I want to show you guys what I got. So first of all, apologies for the inverted camera, but of course not sponsored. This is just spreading a very good small company with a husband and wife that are absolutely wonderful. But the company is Wood, Willow, and Whatnots, and their incense selection is amazing. It's very affordable, and it smells great and lasts a really long time. Like, they probably have the best affordable incense for a small business. So this is all the incense that I got from just them. It's permeating out of the plastic bags, just so you know. It's very pungent, but I just went hog wild, and I got all of the scents that I know I like, plus a couple extra that I wanted to try because I'm such a frequent customer of theirs. So I got, for 20 sticks, it was $5. So I got 20 of each. I almost said flavor, 20 of each scent. So Funky Fairy, Autumn Harvest. This is a new one I wanted to try. But when I diffuse essential oils, I always go for like a fall variation. So I always do sweet orange, frankincense if I have it. It is a little expensive, but pine needle, which is cheap, and cinnamon leaf. But sometimes sweet orange or bergamot can be a bit expensive, so I like to mix in some tangerine. It livens it up a little bit and gives it more of that like citrus flavor. It's lighter, whereas like sweet orange and bergamot can sometimes be a bit, I don't want to say like deeper, but it's more of a deep scent, whereas tangerine is very like lively. So I do that sometimes. Like, I'll splash in some tangerine just to kind of save my my sweet orange, because I don't use tangerine for anything. But anyway, that's besides the point. Mystic Forest, another bop. Wisteria. That's my thing. Is like, I love florals, but like some florals are a little too strong. Like, they have a Lily of the Valley that's really good. But then I went to another stall, and they had a heather variation of an incense stick, and it was so pungent I couldn't handle it. It was too flowery for me. Orange Blossom. I also have never done this one, but I know I'm gonna like it. Wood Nymph. Same thing. I know I'm gonna like it. I did smell these beforehand. They even had like little shakers with coffee beans in it, so that you could like, sanitize your nose. Witch's Brew. Another bop. Moon Goddess. Pine. Another one I've never done before. Emerald Shores. Another one I've never done before, but the second I smelled it, I think this one may be new, because I don't remember it being there before, but Emerald Shores sounds fucking awesome. So I smelled it, and it smelled so goddamn good. I don't know why, but it made me think of Lord of the Rings, but like, it smelled so good. I think it's gonna be one of my new favorites. Celtic Mist is a big favorite of mine. Olwen. This is another one I've never... I think this one is also new because I don't recognize it, but it was also very good. Romance. I love I don't like rose, but I liked the romance scent. Like, it was like a mix of a couple of like typical like love themed incenses, but it wasn't very powerful with rose, which I find rose to be a bit overpowering at times, but it wasn't that strong. It was quite nice actually. Blue moon, and then probably one of my favorites, sage and citrus. That one is the best for like energizing. I used to light that one when I would do like studying and stuff. And then before I knew wood willows and whatnots was there, I did get some incense from a different uh from a different stand. But I got bergamot, time traveler, which does it tell me what's in it? No, but it's from Astral Astrology, which they were really, really nice. Black Cauldron, Witch's Brew. So they had, I have two named Witch's Brew, and Cherry Vanilla. I don't know if I can describe this one to you, but like it has a bit of a berry undertone, but it also smells smoky in a way. Another thing, I'm so tired. My face is so hot. I don't have anything with sunscreen in it, and I didn't have any, so I didn't even think to put any on underneath my makeup, and now I'm sunburned, just like a little bit, like right here on my nose and like on my arms a teeny bit. So I'm a little hot. And then quite literally my only purchases that were not incense. My only purchases that were not incense. I think I spent like $75 on incense today, which I would have wanted to buy it anyway. I just didn't pay for shipping. Of the only things that I got that were not incense related, I got these two bottle charms. I picked them out to have the same color ribbon just so they kind of matched. But I got one that is full of flu powder and the other that is full of gillyweed. I never want to discuss it publicly or give it any attention, but it did shape me as a reader. So, like, I love it, but I'm never going to talk about it. And then I got this sign. It's long and inverted, so I'll just read it to you, but it's a quote from The Hobbit, which is the other book that got me into reading, but it says, "Some believe it is only great power that can hold evil in check, but that is not what I have found. It is the small everyday deeds of ordinary folk that keep darkness at bay, small acts of kindness and love." From Gandalf. And reading update, I did not get that much done because reading in the car kind of gives me a headache, but I am 14% into A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm on chapter 8. The whole plan of doing a 24-hour reading vlog just did not work with my schedule and everything, and I'm still trying to wait and hear back about a second job because I need to do that, and I haven't been streaming on Twitch, and it's just been a whole thing. I really need to learn how to prioritize all of the things that are important to me. Like, I think what I'm going to do actually is I know I say that like literally every update's like, I think I'm going to do. It's like, no, I think actually what I need to do is make a Twitch schedule again, because this whole like unscheduled bullshit is just not working for me. I mean, having a strict schedule doesn't really work for me either, because when I have to actually commit to it, I do struggle sometimes because things come up or things happen, but I need to give myself a little bit more structure besides just doing everything around work. So I think I need to establish a Twitch schedule again, but I need to be really, really careful about it and do like 2 or 3 streams a week. Like, stop doing like chaotic, like 5 streams one week and none for 2 weeks kind of thing. I need to commit and do like 2 or 3 streams a week maximum and stick to it, because otherwise it's just going to stay on this chaotic trajectory that is not going to give me any growth. I mean, I've established a YouTube schedule and I've grown comfortable with it, but I need to establish a streaming schedule. I will let you know that once we hit 100 subscribers on the YouTube channel, I will do my first YouTube stream, and we'll game, we'll talk about books, we'll do whatever, we'll do like whatever comes up and everything. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I am exhausted and it is 10:30 at night and I have to be up at 8:30 to go to work, and I work all day. So I ordered in some Panda Express and I'm going to relax, edit this, and try to get it ready for Monday upload so I don't have to worry about it. Remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I recently looked at my analytics page and I saw that about 77% of you are not subscribed to the channel. That may be because of my Vampire Academy pilot video. Who knows? But consider sticking around. I would love to see you. Remember to drink water and be nice to each other and exude kindness and empathy with everything that you do. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!